This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Stuff went numb that shouldn't go numb, you know what I'm saying? I was like, what is going on?
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
And co-host Marnie Winfield.
It was kind of an awkward thing. He's like, would you guys want to come along? Can you get away to come to the island? I'm like, yeah, we just got back from there.
It is the 20th of August, 2023. My name, Corey Winfield.
My name's Marnie Winfield.
This is the 217 Recovery Podcast that you've heard about, your friends are talking about. You see people wearing sober shirts. You're like, what is this podcast? I'm going to check it out. That's us. So welcome.
Welcome.
And kind of bittersweet news that we have to deliver today. And as I say this, don't let your heart drop, but this is the last podcast of 217 Recovery from the home location that is this home location. I know what you're thinking. Corey, what does that mean? What are you talking about? That's stupid. We're switching homes. That's what that means. Are you going to get new episodes Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday? I don't know. Are you getting them now? It's kind of hit or miss, isn't it? Your boy's been busy.
Mm-hmm.
Your girl's been busy.
Been busy.
I grab other people when I can. But no, you will get episodes from time to time, randomly throughout the week, as you've continued to get for the past 4 months, 5 months maybe. Just don't hold that against us. We do what we can when we can do it, how we can do it. But yeah, we're pretty excited.
Yeah, so cue happy music if you had that ready, prepared.
Yeah, I didn't have that stuff ready yet.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay, well, I got this. All right.
There you
Come
go.
buy a car now. We got a new location. We're going to be broadcasting our podcast from whenever we can. Ha!
There you go.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, though, because cats are going to be in the mix, like an MFer.
Yeah, it's going to be a different setup, but, you know, it's going to be just home studio location, second one we're gonna have ever. And, well, this is our first home, right? Yeah. That we're purchasing, like we're actually home buyers.
Paid $18.2 million
that's really
for it.
exciting.
It's right on the lake.
It was
overlooks the entire lake of Michigan.
No, none of that.
Of elevator that goes from the ground floor up to the 18th floor.
So it's ours is what the important piece is. And so
we outbid Kid Rock and Eminem for it.
So what I was getting at is that these are the things that happen when you're in recovery. You know, these are these promises coming true. Yeah. And it's really made me kind of sit back and look at, you know, I interact with individuals on a daily basis at my job that they're literally sometimes not even one day clean. I mean, they're sometimes even still under the influence when I'm talking to them. And, you know, it makes me really think about how far I've come. And I can say to them, you know, in total sincerity is I've been exactly where you're at, because I literally have been exactly where they were at. Mm-hmm. Maybe not that exact same chair, but that exact same spot and that exact same, you know, even that exact same location. I mean, you know, I've been through detox, you know, withdrawal management programs time and time again. And, you know, God willing, never have to ever be there again. And I feel pretty good about where I'm at with my recovery. But, you know, so it's really kind of crazy to look back and be like, it was not all that long ago that I was exactly where they were at. Mm-hmm. And the things that have come true for me and for us, you know, as a couple, as a family, and it's like, it's mind blowing. It truly is. And it makes me have confidence and hope for others.
And you're getting you've already kind of got your coin, but your 4 years is coming up in 10 days.
It is coming up. Yep. It's right around the corner.
To think like, wow, like all the stuff that's happened in 4 years, it's It's been crazy.
Yeah.
But crazy good.
Crazy good.
And the good stuff just keeps happening. We saw a friend of ours today at the 217 Recovery Center. And yeah, I'll call her a friend. You know, she's a big fan of 217. She's a mutual friend of ours with Tyrone. And, you know, just seeing her, you know, out of treatment, just a different look on her face, different attitude. Does it mean she's going to be sober forever? I don't know. I hope so. But it sounded like she's loving this whole new life that she's realizing that she has now, these opportunities, and, you know, getting out of that old surrounding, that old neighborhood that she used to live in, and now coming to a different one, doing sober living. She has kind of a new outlook on life, and yeah, she can have anything she wants too. And when I was talking to Tyrone the other day, because I took him over to the mansion, and he's like, man, Winfield, he's like, you know, you inspire me. I was like, oh, well, you inspire me, Tyrone. He's like, no, you really do. And he's like, you ever think about writing a book? He's like, you need to write a book. You and Marty need to write a book. I was like, yeah, I was just going to jump right to the movie, but okay, maybe I will write a book. But I thought about it, and maybe one day, sure, because you're right. For people to see, you know, where we are now, where we were, and people that used to know me back then, they were just like, holy shit, like, wow, this is crazy. Some of them shrug their shoulders and be like, I heard you talking about it a lot, but I didn't know you had it in you, you know, and not saying that I had to be with you, but our paths definitely did have to cross, you know, to be where we're at today and to find each other. And that's something we both wanted in life. I prayed for it. I had to like look hard to not settle for just anybody that came along, and I had to like really pick and choose who I wanted. I didn't want to just sleep around with a bunch of people. To me, it was pointless to do that. I'm 40. I'm a grown man. I should have had that drop ready. It's from a coach from Oklahoma State. But anyway, it was time that I had to do that, because I could have made the wrong choice many times. I was telling Tyrone, and this is how crazy and how simple, but how quick it could go the other way. When Ryan was getting paid, or he took money from that dude when we were managing the sober living home in Boyne City, when he took money from that guy to have sex with his girlfriend in the garage. Ryan wasn't having sex with the dude's girlfriend, but he was like, hey man, because the rule was no sex in the house. And so he was like, hey, I'll pay Ryan, you know, and he'll let me have my girlfriend over and I'll have sex with her in the garage. Real sexy, huh?
Okay. Yeah, just keep me posted.
Okay. Well, I found out about it and said, hell no. Went to Ryan and said, dude, that's not what we're doing here. Well, that dude offered me money too. And I was in between jobs. So I could have done the same thing. And what if I would have? What if I would have just said, all right, man, that's cool. Yeah, give me $50. I'm going to look the other way. Or, you know, what if I would have went in there to Ryan and just been like, yeah, like, or if I just didn't say anything, if I didn't go into Ryan and say, hey, I'm telling the guy who owns the house what happened, and I'm going to let him know about it tomorrow at the house meeting. And then Ryan, you know, went out and he told the owner or whatever. I think he made up his own story. I don't know, and I don't really care, because it'll happen perfect. But then for the guy who owned the house to come to me and be like, I'm going to go with one manager. Like after the meeting, we were supposed to talk, but he goes out with Ryan instead first. And then he comes to me and he's like, hey, after he had called me, he's like, I'm worried about Ryan. I was like, yeah, me too. I can't wait to tell you something. And so he comes to my room and is like, look, man, I'm going to go with one house manager. I'm going to go with Ryan. And I was like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Like, wow, that dude? Okay, man. And my pride was hurt. And I immediately texted you and you're like, well, I can't say that I'm disappointed about that, because I was kind of felt stuck, because I told him I would do it for a year. And I was supposed to follow through on my commitments, you know, and I'm like, damn it. And you were just like, hey, I'm pregnant with your baby. And I'm like, oh man, I want to be with you. So like that had to happen exactly how it did. If it didn't, who knows? I mean, I'm probably sure I would have made the same choice of like, all right, guys, I'm not sticking around here much longer. But just something so simple like that, you know, doing the right thing. It was hard for a minute, some would say. And Tyrone just was like, man, they did you dirty, you know. I don't think they did me dirty. I mean, Ryan kind of did, but like whatever, it is what it is. But some guys would have probably drank over that.
Probably.
You know,
Yeah.
and for me, you know, to just be like, all right, well, what am I going to do next? And then you were like, hey, let's get a place. And it's like, okay, great. That sounds awesome. I don't have a job. I got some college money. I owe an apartment complex like $750 in Buchanan. So yeah, let's get that figured out. And then how that kind of rolled into a tearful moment for me, because I was on this, I'm setting boundaries, I'm doing it by myself thing. I'm not asking mommy for no more money, you know, like I'm going to do it by myself. And then that comes up and it's like, oh crap. And we're trying to get an apartment. COVID's just happening. It's impossible to even see or look at apartments. And finally we have a chance to get one, and you're doing like tons and tons and tons of behind the scenes work to pull every string you can. And you're asking for help from everybody, you know, as far as like churches and organizations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I had to reach out to my mom and ask her, you know, I tried being cute with it because the COVID money, the first like $1,000 Trump was about to release or something and send out. And so I told my mom, like, hey, you know, I was trying to be cute with it. And like, you want to earn some money? If you give me $750 for like a week, I'll give you $1,000 in a couple weeks. And as I'm like going on this stupid text message, she's like, bloop, sends it to me. And I'm like, wait, what? And I was to the point where my mom would not loan me money. She would not give me money. If I needed gas, she would drive my ass to the gas station and watch me put it in. Mm-hmm. You know, so like that was a very tearful moment for me. I like sat in the bed and cried, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like to have that trust back, you know, and that was something that was special. And, you know, with this place that we had here for 3 years now, like it's been great. And, you know, doing podcasts from the studio, I remember, I don't know if we ever used the really crappy mics in here. Maybe we did.
I don't think so. I think he had some some decent ones.
The blue, which is what Mitch and Jeremy are using now. Mm-hmm. They do theirs from the 217 Recovery Center. It's called Redacted Recovery Story or Recovery, or yeah, just look up Redacted, Facebook or whatever. But we'll share some of their podcasts as soon as they like hit the ground running. But they're just dipping their toes in the water right now, and I think they're going to do some great stuff. But they're using those blue microphones we had in here, but then we had the pod mics, and then we actually got some really, really good mics. And you know, it wasn't really anything. Well, I mean, technically we bought them. I mean, you bought this for me for Christmas. Mm-hmm. And then I believe my mom got that mic that you're on for Christmas. Like that's all I always kept asking her for was mics. And then I moved now to cameras for Christmas. I'm like, just want one gift. I was like, you can keep the socks, you can keep the little towels, the pants, the candles, the beef jerky, whatever. Keep all that. Just give me a microphone. And to see where we've come now, I mean, there's a lot of growth in it. And personally, professionally, I mean, the business when we first started, like I'll always remember sitting here like losing my mind when I was trying to become a non-emergency medical transportation provider, and the stuff you have to go through with all these like different things through the state of Michigan and Sigma, and you got to have this and that. And it's like, and I just remember it was like June, it was hot, and I was just losing my mind. And, you know, having the conversations with some of the people, you know, in this very room. And I don't know, it's just been insane, the growth of it. And now, you know, look at us, we have an office, which hopefully we still have in a few months, and we can have it for a while because we're doing some really good things. And, you know, people are coming and taking advantage of, you know, having meetings at our spot and hanging out with us and doing recovery coaching there. And that's the thing, like if you need a recovery coach in the Traverse City area, or maybe you're not, you know, maybe you're just in Michigan, or maybe you're in Florida, whatever, man. You know, look us up online, call us, say you want a recovery coach. You know, like that service is, as of right now, is open to anybody. Oh, but I don't have insurance. I have insurance. That to me, I don't think matters. You know, if you're calling and want to talk to somebody, call us. I mean, people have been hitting me up this weekend like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people saying they're having problems and wanting to go. And one guy has the same name as me. Hit me up because I went and added like every Corey Winfield on the planet that has a Facebook page. I added them as friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you did that a long time ago.
I did. But hey, everything happens for a reason. And dude reached out, but he's in a different state. And I'm just like, man, I don't really know how things work there. And I tried looking, but I've been so busy with trying to write this.
Another Corey Winfield reached out to you?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. But I was like, I definitely got to help this guy. But it was tough because I've been so busy trying to do other things and, you know, with all the moving and trying to buy a mansion and what?
All the moving.
All the move I'm watching you do. Hey, I took my cologne over there and I took some clothes.
Yeah, you did. You did.
I got to pack up the studio. That's a lot of thinking I got to do.
It's the doing part that we can think it all day long. It's kind of like getting sober. Like we're like, I'm gonna do it. Mm-hmm. I'm really gonna do it. I even have a plan on how I'm gonna do it.
You gotta have a plan. Like
I'll even tell you about my plan and what it's gonna look like. Mm-hmm. But until it actually happens and there's some action that takes place, that's when I'll be like, all right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll just throw that stuff in a box. Stuff on the wall. We should probably take the soundproofing stuff.
Is this your pre-planning?
Yeah, Sam, we're going to go through it right now.
He's literally looking around the room right now. Like,
throw that. But we should probably throw the soundproofing stuff in your car. And I wonder how it's going to sound in the new studio because it's open.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, we're going to find out. We're going to find out.
There were 8 deer running around right outside the window.
We have little wildlife animals in our backyard.
Surprised they didn't fall into the ocean or the Lake Michigan.
Oh my God, they're so cute.
On that waterfront.
They're so cute.
Yeah, I looked at it. Tyro was over. I was showing, so I took him over there and he's just like, what are them cats going to do when they see all these animals? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you got animals, Winfield. I was like, what are you talking about? And I look out and there's a deer just standing right there, and then another one. And I look over, and there's like 2 little ones with the white spots, and there's 2 more kind of down in the forest. And I'm like, what in the hell? Mm-hmm. So I started counting them, like counting 8, and I was like, holy cow, like that's crazy. So anyway, but yeah, so we're excited, as you can kind of tell, and it'll be interesting to see what it sounds like. And I don't know, because it's just such an open space. I don't know, like here. It's not the perfect for acoustics, but I think it sounds all right. I like this better than the North studio.
Yeah.
From work, because that has too much, I think, and I don't know.
Yeah, but it's really cool because, I mean, I know most of our I'm sure there's still people who started listening to us a long time ago and have kind of like been here throughout all these transitions because we're pretty open about like stuff that's going on. In our world, because that's what keeps me sober, right? Talking about what's going on. Like, that's what I do when I go to meetings. Like, what's up with you? How things been? Like, what are my challenges? What are my achievements? What are my successes? Like, the whole shebang. And this kind of is a platform for, at least for me, and I know it is for you too, is to like talk about that stuff, and checking in and being like, this is where we're at. And so if you really are a listener who's listened for the past 3 years, how many years is it now you've been doing this?
4.
4. So I started joining around 3 years ago or so. Anyway, like that's a lot of stuff. And it's not all been great either. I mean, there's been some trials for sure. Crappy stuff does happen in sobriety. Lots of things that probably fit the bill for, I drink because fill in the blank, but, I choose not to because there's nothing that can bring me back to that. There's nothing that I can think of that would make me decide to go back to drinking because drinking doesn't fix it. Drinking doesn't make it go away.
Nope.
It just makes it worse.
But in that early phase of it, it's what we know.
It's what we know.
And your brain lies to you. Your brain tells you just do it. It's fine. And it's not. And it takes away that consequence. That's what the front brain part is what deals with consequences. And, like it just takes that right out of there and says, nope, just drink and you'll be good. And you're like, okay, I'll drink and I'll be good. But you might be good for a minute. At least you think you are, but then you're not. And, that time that you can have. So like when people say, oh man, I had 4 months and I failed and I screwed up, and we'll get back up and keep going, because that time that your brain is healing is time that your brain is healing. Mm-hmm. And the next time you might get 3 months, you might get 4 months, you might get 10 days, whatever. Get back up, keep going. Mm-hmm. if it sucks, you want to beat yourself up, you want to say you're worthless and you're a piece of shit, whatever. Okay, move on. It's about what you do next, and just keep adding that time up, and then it'll get easier for you to accept that you can never drink again, that you can never do drugs again. And once you have your mind made up and you can lay it down as not an option. Oh, I had a bad day at work. What are you going to do? I'm going to eat ice cream. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to make prank phone calls. I don't know. Whatever you do, that will be your options. Drinking will not be one of them. Using drugs will not be one of them. You take that off the table. Just take it off. Well, I'm going to go see my boy Doug, but Doug does meth. So, well, Doug's not your boy no more. Don't talk to Doug. If Doug needs help one day, he can reach out to you. He'll see what you're doing and how good you're doing. That's how you can do. You can't fix them. You can't do anything else. You can just fix you, and that's hard enough. So you just keep going, do what you do, and don't look back.
And it takes a minute to get that routine down and have it feel normal, right? I'm not going to lie, because, I remember in early sobriety, and I was like, I'm not really having that much fun. Life is not like, woohoo, this is, I'm like living the life. It wasn't like that. But I knew that things would get better, and I knew that I needed to grow into my own sobriety, that I needed to, things that I wanted down the road, that's exactly what they were going to be. They were going to be down the road. And so it was like, I just got through the day, and then I got through another day, and then I got through another day. And I mean, I found joy in things that I didn't think that I ever could. Simple things, and you really start appreciating just life in general. And now, my most favorite thing to do is nothing, right?
That's what's up, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean absolutely nothing, but just hanging out and having there's no bells and whistles and fireworks and plans and tickets, and it's just chilling and enjoying being sober. And I mean, to think that the chaos that my life was 4 years ago is just, like I said, the only word I can think of is it just blows my mind.
And you said something there, though. You said down the road, and that's a great way to look at things, because I remember one time you had to walk to work, which is way, way, way across town. I can't remember why I didn't take you or why you didn't take the car, but we only had one car.
We only had one car.
Sharing it, and I don't know what was going on that I had to take it and be so important, but...
You had a ride, I think.
Oh, stupid people. You didn't ride. No, just kidding. But anyway, yeah, that day that you walked from here, which I feel bad about, and it's probably 3 miles or something.
Yeah.
One way. Hopefully I picked you up. I think I did pick you up.
It's 3 miles from here to where I was working at the time. Yeah.
So when you left here, you weren't like, I'm going to walk to work, and then you just hit the door and boom, you were there. Nope. Then you walked to the road. When you got to the road, it wasn't like, boop, hey, I'm at work. Nope. You still had to keep going. Mm-hmm. That's a good way to look at your recovery. It's like, look, you might have a goal of where you're going, and that's great. And you can get there. Absolutely. But it's going to take time. That road is shorter, longer. Who knows for different people. But if you have a destination and you have a place that you're going, you can get there. Mm-hmm. How long it's going to take, that depends on so many different things. But that's kind of a way to look at things, and don't get like, oh, I've been sober for 6 months and none of this is working.
But it is.
Okay, well, then it's time to sit down and go, okay, what's not working?
But did you say you're 6 months sober?
Yeah.
Then it is working.
Yeah, but I don't have a job, and I don't like this, or I don't have an apartment, I don't have this. Okay, well, it's time to sit down and figure out, how do we get those things? Because you just had a job that you hate or whatever you're doing. Maybe it's not working for you. Maybe this is God saying, okay, it's time to switch gears, man. It's not going to fall in your lap. Mm-hmm. You have to make those calls. And sometimes it'll feel like, oh, that's impossible, but it's not.
Yep.
And there'll be plenty of doors that slam in your face. And that's fine.
Yep.
Those doors weren't meant for you.
They weren't meant for you.
If they were, God would have opened them.
Yep.
That's how I look at things. And And there'll be times where you can get set up to make a wrong decision real quick. You know, stick to your morals, stick to your plan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, if I would have been like, all right, man, just give me the 50 and I'll look the other way.
Or if I would have been like, hey, I'm going to go work at this restaurant and be a waitress because I know I can make decent money, you know, opposed to this entry-level job that has the worst schedule ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew what I needed to do and what I didn't need to do. And I had already tried all that before. So, you know.
Yeah, but then you could have had an apartment and you could have had dudes over, but instead you live at your
But
mama
see,
crib.
here's the thing. None of that would have even would have like unfolded. Because I can't say for sure, but I know for a fact, like everything that I did is I don't want to say boring, but as like simple as I made it, it was exactly what needed to happen.
And you still had a man over.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To my mama's house where I was living. Yeah. I mean, I kept it simple. I kept it super simple for sure. Yep.
Yeah. So it's great to reflect every once in a while. You know, like I said, Tyrone's proud of us and things that we're doing, stuff. It's insane. I'll try to do my best. Oh, I'm gonna get this room packed or whatever, this office, and then my bathroom and whatever else you tell me to. But it's here we go. Perfect example. I showed the guys how I work the other day. I was writing this grant, which I really hope we get because we can really make a difference. I'm telling you, I have such a strong feeling about this. It's a grant for like a media grant for a certain kind of addiction. And I thought, man, like this would be good for us. So it was due 5:00 on Friday, 4:56. I sent that in.
Sounds about right.
And I was like, oh, wait, that one file was real big. Let me send the other file just alone. I sent that in at 4:59. I was like, see, guys, I get things done. Like, that's the Winfield way. It's got to be last minute usually.
Be careful what you say. You're incorporating the Winfield, me being Winfield as well. Because that's not the way I do things. So,
yes. Okay, this is a Corey way then.
The Corey Winfield way. You can say that.
Yeah. But I mean, it gets in there.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't like, no, I wait to the last minute on stuff too, for sure. I really do. So I have a little bit of that in me.
I just got back from vacation, and honestly, I was like trying to get you to look at it and work on it with me, and you're like, I don't want to. So I was like, never mind. I'll get with Adam and do it. I want you looking at that anyway.
No, it's just, it's kind of like, I don't know.
There was stuff that I saw that was, and here's the one thing that I wish I could have turned in with it was a video of me kind of explaining why. I thought that was a deer as a little dog on our window. Out my window, I can't stand the rain. Anyway, the
Video.
The certain thing we applied for, and we want to like raise awareness for this thing and whatever. And if you go to where there's supposed to be help now, it's not laughable because it's not funny. You and I both know how hard it is to try to get help sometimes, and just by Googling things or by going directly to the website that's supposed to help you, and it has nothing on there for you. And I know there are people out there that help people in this particular thing, but they're not listed. You know, but to actually do the work to find these people and then create a whole new platform, and I think that would be great. But to actually show in our proposal for the grant, like, look, it without sounding like this sucks, you need us, but to be more about solutions, but just to show like this, go there. It's frustrating. Like nobody knows. Like the people that gone there, they've went there once, twice, 3 times. They're done. They're not going back. You know, and it's just, I don't know. That's the one thing I wish I could have had time to do. It's kind of like just explain, like, here's what we're doing and here's how it's going to be different. And there's these other people that are applying for it and they get it, I think, every year. If they're that good at it, well, how come it's not
Right.
Because they're just doing the bare minimum, but that's not what we do. And addiction, for the most part, addiction's addiction.
Yep.
And we're not going to leave somebody who's a heroin addict out there suffering because they're not an alcoholic. We're not going to leave an alcoholic out there because he's not a heroin addict. No, I mean, addiction's addiction, man, and we got to help those people out.
Yeah.
That's kind of the deeper part of it.
Absolutely.
So that's the game plan. But so I got it in there. So my point here is this room will be done in time. Yep.
Okay. That's good.
Just letting you know. Don't worry about me.
So the next time that we talk to you guys, well, no, that's not true because you probably will do one from the office studio.
Seems like there's something I got to do on Tuesday. I just don't remember what it is.
But
write a grant.
But we will let you.
There's a huge grant that I have to get done by this Friday at 5. So we're on again.
Yes.
Not funny. So yeah, this is the last studio from this location. So the next one might sound a little different, might not, with all the ocean waves or the waves from Lake Michigan crushing against the mansion. And I'm telling you, beautiful sunsets and sunrises. It's weird, like in the perfect spot. We go out the east and we get the sunrise, and then we go out the west deck. We'll go up to the 14th floor for that one. Yeah, we look and watch the sunsets. They're lovely.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. Full of it.
Yes, you are.
So thanks though for listening, and we'll be back. Who knows when, but it will be from a different location. Thanks. And 217recovery.com. Oh yeah, man. I was going to hate on Facebook because I got this message today. Oh, I know Marnie was getting ready to get up. She's like, all right, we're done. I know you know me better than that. I'm not done with this podcast just yet. I have to bitch about something. No, I got this. I'm like so over Facebook. I'm so over social media. I don't know if it's because I'm 45 or what. I'm not a kid anymore. I just don't care. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, okay, we have to have it because whatever, because it could reach people. Okay, cool. But I get this message from Facebook today, and it's like, we've deleted or suspended your business account. Like, what? It's like, because someone's flagged you for inappropriate content. And I was like, what? Our last podcast was pretty awesome. It was just joking around from the studio, but I didn't break any of Facebook's content rules. I was like, man, what are they trying to do? Is this their attempt to like squeeze money out of you like Twitter was trying to do? Like, get a verified button for $10 or whatever it was. I don't even remember. I don't know. I'm just like over that. And I just wrote him back because I'm sure it was a robot. And I was like, yeah, thanks for asking me about that. Thanks for checking with me first about that. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for showing me what you're even effing talking about. But it's probably just one of those things where, well, if you were verified for $25.99, I'm just going to delete it. I don't even care.
I don't know.
I only use Facebook to post videos and pictures of myself and you and my cats. Maybe something else soon. But anyway, I had to throw that dig in on Facebook because it didn't make me happy. But see, in those situations, you know what I do? I just send some smart ass remark back to a robot that's never going to read it, and then I move the F on, bitch about on the podcast. Done.
There you go.
There you go. There you go, kids. There's an example. I hope you enjoy it. All right, now I'm done. Done. See ya.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Win a bunch of free shit from 217 Recovery. Go to the app or the website, 217recovery.com.